Okay, so I kind of just want to talk, I guess, because we have a lot of videos up of, us playing with Willow or me playing with Willow or books and etc. etc. You don't really know a whole lot about us. But personally, I kind of want to talk about what's going on with me right now. I was in a relationship right out of high school, and I got pregnant twice in 2010 and once in 2011 and miscarried, and there was no reason. They just said it just happens, blah blah blah. So I've had, abnormal periods, out of the way, crazy pain. And then after Willow was born, which, if you didn't know, me nor my wife carried her. My ex-wife carried her. That's another story. And so after Willow was born, I started having long, heavy periods. And last year, it went so far as to go on for 10 months of heavy bleeding and extreme pain. So I wasn't really able to keep a job because I just couldn't. Between, bleeding everywhere, no matter how many times I tried to go to the bathroom, and crippling pain. Like, I can't even explain, really, how painful it was. I went to 3 different doctors, had a diagnostic, laparoscopy, did the whole 9. There's nothing wrong with you, there's nothing wrong with you, there's nothing wrong with you. Okay, clearly there's something wrong. The doctor before last tried birth control pills, which my brother and I are both birth control babies. And birth control is an issue with clotting with my mom. I don't know why. I don't know how those two tie together, but that's just how it is. So the birth control didn't work for her, and it messed with her blood clotting. So I was really nervous about that, having not knowing anything else really about my family history except for there's a bunch of cancer. It just freaked me out. My mom, of course, your mom says something, you want to listen. So I got on birth control, and it stopped the bleeding for 2 weeks. And then here we go again. Around that time, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, which was in April this year. And I know your emotions and stress and all that can tie in too. So May, I started bleeding again, super heavy, and haven't stopped yet. So I was trying to help my mom, trying to figure out if I was going to attempt to put my 3-year-old in preschool. Cass, which is my wife, was having some trouble at work. It's a factory, so if there's not orders, then it slows down. We had a little financial bind. Willow's biological mother, I say mom, but mother, got into some trouble. And so in these last few months, things have been insane. But through my mom, her strength, she was like, you really need to figure out what's going on with you, while I'm going to be off work, because she decided to just go ahead and have a double mastectomy and get it over with. That's where the cancer was. It's semi-invasive, it's through her estrogen, but she just wanted to get it over with and get it out of the way. So she did that, and I asked around a lot and found another doctor that several people said, you really need to go to this doctor. I really think they'll help. It's like, okay. Well, I assumed it was a man. It's not. It's a woman. And I was actually really happy about that. No offense to anyone. I just have a history where I'm uncomfortable with guys. Anyway, they went and they had to reschedule me a couple of times, so I was like, okay, I'm never going to find out what's going on. My mother had her double mastectomy, and then she turned around and had her implant surgery before I could even get in. Well, finally I got there. They were like, we're going to do an ultrasound right off the bat. A wand. I don't know what the actual word is. But, so they did, and the technician was really sweet, was very careful, as best she could be, of course. She did have to have me pushed down on my stomach a lot, which was super painful, and I was like really nervous and whatever about everything. But she was like, oh, and I was like, oh, what? And she was like, well, I need to talk to your doctor. You need to go and wait to see your doctor. You're going to see her today right after. So I was like, okay, that's great. Get me in, get going. An hour later, because it's an OBGYN office, of course, there's pregnant ladies who take precedent, and I'm fine with that. An hour later, I finally got back there, and she was like, looking at the ultrasounds, and she's like, I don't see how nobody's seen this. And I said, okay, well, tell me, what's up? So, and forgive me if I don't say it right, she diagnosed me with adenomyosis, which is the sister to endometriosis, but it's not the same. It works in the muscles of your uterus and inside your uterus, and so basically I have too much lining, and because estrogen comes from your fat cells, and I'm a little bit bigger, my progesterone and my estrogen can't meet to click that off to tell me to stop bleeding. That plus the extra lining, and my uterus is like, there's still lining, I need to keep going. So that, and then the muscles, my uterine muscles are covered in it. So answers. I was so excited and so relieved to finally have someone tell me what is going on. I have some ovarian cysts also, which I was pretty sure of, due to the sharp pains versus the constant pain. I have surgery tomorrow, and I guess it's kind of what's prepping me to talk about this now. Just for them to go in, a DNC, pretty much, and they're going to biopsy what they get and find out, what exactly is going on. Since both of my parents have cancer, and every set of grandparents, great-grandparents, whatever, up throughout them have all had cancer, they want to make sure that that's not a thing. They're going to look at the cysts and see what they can or can't remove. Some are pretty big, some are small. And they don't want to cause any scar tissue where they don't have to. The only way to cure the adenomyosis is a complete hysterectomy. But here in Arkansas, you have rules for that. You have to have 2 living biological children. You have to be 27, which I am, fixing to be 28. And your spouse has to give permission, which I have 2 of those. My wife would be fine if that's what I did. We have Willow. That's really our main concern. But since I don't have 2 living biological children, they really don't want to do that. And there's a small chance, from what she said and what she had seen, it's unique to everyone. There's a very, very slight chance of getting pregnant. For me. And if I do get pregnant, there's a very high chance of miscarrying again. I'm not sure I want to do that. But my wife wants to carry if I choose that I don't want to try, or if we find out that I can't and I do have to have a more invasive surgery to remove all that. Just depending on what we find out. I guess I'm kind of throwing this out to the void to see if anyone out there really can tell me more about this diagnosis. I know I can get some from my doctor, and I will. I'll ask her plenty of questions, but I find it's easier to talk to other people and discuss it and see what ties in and what doesn't and what may be different. I've done a lot of research since I found out, and it's so nice to feel validated that I'm not just crazy and it's all in my head, this pain and everything that goes with it. I did have a job at the beginning of the year, and I just couldn't keep it. Between our daughter and all the pain, the job would waste me. And when I'd get home, I wouldn't be able to do anything with Willow, and I'm definitely not okay with that. Willow's my life. So, I just said to heck with it. Between that and Mom's cancer, they needed me more. Mom's doing good. I should probably put that in there, so, she could always use more prayers. She does have a little bit of fluid on her surgery site that they're concerned about, and the estrogen blocker pill that they put her on originally was making her very ill. I'm probably gonna say like 70 times in this video now that I'm thinking about it. So they put her on a milder pill, so I'm hoping that works out. We'll see in the next few weeks. Willow just started soccer, and we did end up putting her in school, so she's very happy. She does have a little bit more of a routine. We have a great routine at home. I'm just ready to get my situation figured out. That way I do have more energy and I don't feel constant pain all the time. So I'll know more after tomorrow. But, I'm really hoping to get some vlogs up, to get some videos with my amazing wife, and some more videos of, like, Willow, during soccer, during our at-home. For those who do follow us, which isn't very many at this current moment, thank you for following, and thank you for caring about our family. I've followed several TTC and mom/dad crews, and I care about all of you. It is very different because I've never seen a child call a female daddy. That's probably something that everybody wonders about when they read our bio or they come in here and they're like, why is she calling you daddy? You're a girl. It was just her choice. And me and my ex-wife didn't want to tell her something we didn't want to tell her she couldn't call me that. She's very set on calling my ex-wife mommy. And her first word was dada, and I was the only one in the room with her. I was holding her, so I'd never corrected her. She knows I'm a girl. She'll tell you daddy's a girl. She calls me her. She knows, either way. Most people tell me, not to worry about it. That's your business, but a lot of people get confused, and some people think that, I'm not proud to be a woman, that it bothers me, that I would be bothered to be called mom, and I'm not. My 3 children that I lost, I'm sure would have called me mom, but with Willow, it just wasn't something that happened. And she calls my wife Cass mom, so it's daddy, her birth mom is mommy, and then she calls Cass mom when she's not calling her Cass. She flip-flops. So this is getting to be a super long video, so I'm gonna cut off. But yeah, if anybody knows anything about my diagnosis or can offer some advice or tips, that's great. If you have any questions about me, my wife, our daughter, what we do, please let me know. We'd love to do a Q&A. We just don't have much of a following yet. So, thank you so much for watching.